What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. We have a loaded show today. We're doing picks. We're reviewing our
Like my
picks.
kid's diaper. Well, I mean, yes, picks and sticks. Let's go.
We're talking NFL, NBA, MLB playoffs, NHL season preview, some WNBA. We got a lot of stuff today, Casino.
Yeah, we do.
Before we get into talking about your team, obviously you're on cloud nine right now. My team lost, obviously. So the Eagles lost, but I'll tell you what I did not lose. As the game tonight on Monday Night Football will determine if I win this week by twice as many correct picks as you had.
Jeez.
We are currently at, I got 9 correct picks. You got
4.
5 correct picks.
Oh, okay.
But if Jacksonville wins tonight, you get 2 points for that because it would also be your upset pick of the week. So you have a lot.
I'm not feeling confident, but I'm going with it. I gotta just go back. I gotta go back to my roots and just be smart about this. I gotta stop reaching for the fences.
I'll tell you what, I almost picked. I had Patriots on here. I had Titans on here. Both of those I scratched out last minute and picked reverse. If I would have picked those two and went with my gut and my heart.
Well, we'll get into it, but Titans didn't win that game. The Cardinals lost that game. There's a difference.
I know.
There's a difference.
I know.
Patriots are just won it. I liked your pick on the Patriots. I really, or your would have been pick. I just couldn't do it. I needed to see how this game played out before now moving on the rest of the season. I feel comfortable with what I'm going to do with them. All right.
Well, we made a strong case on Wednesday's show last week that if the Patriots did win, A, we would not be shocked, and B, we could see it happening. The only reason
they had to play clean football.
Well, the only thing that talked me out of it was the game was taking place in Buffalo. I think if that game took place in New England, even beforehand, knowing that, I would have 100% picked the Patriots and stuck with it. I went back and forth on that game so much, but again, the football oracle, I don't know why I doubt the energy around me, because it's giving me the picks.
Yeah, I get you. I don't know because anyway, before we get into the football, this is the best time of year. It is October. It's just the greatest sports month of all time. Everything's happening. You have the start of seasons, you have the conclusions of seasons, and then football's in full swing now. I love this month so much. So before we get into the football, let's talk about some playoffs that are happening right now. Let's talk about, before we get into baseball, let's touch on the WNBA. I'm really happy about this because Aces, they are now 2-0 in the finals against the Phoenix Mercury, who nobody expected to be there. Everybody thought the Minnesota Lynx, who were having one of the best seasons of all time in the WNBA, were going to just kind of cruise past and make the finals. They did not. So game 1, Aces Mercury, real good, actually. Went down to the wire, back and forth game. And then in game 2 was just an absolute beating the Aces gave the Mercury. You had Jackie Young go for 32 points. They won 91-78. Just in complete dominance. I really thought the Aces were done this season early on when Asia Wilson, who was banged up consistently throughout the beginning of the season. But when she came back and cleared all of her concussion, she was not banged up anymore. They went on an absolute tear. And one of the longest streaks in WNBA history of wins. And they just look unstoppable right now. So it does go now to Phoenix for game 3 and 4. It's going to probably be a sweep. So that would be the Aces' third finals win. And I'm going to call it now. I really am. I mean, Aces are up 2-0. This would be the third finals win in WNBA championship in 4 years, which would be awesome for just the city. I know not a lot of people care about the WNBA, but I absolutely love watching because the Aces are bred here in Vegas, and I absolutely love that. So, and I haven't gone to a game yet, but every time I see it on TV, they look sold out. for the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of my depths with WNBA. I haven't watched any of it.
Well, I literally just follow the Aces, so it's pretty easy for me to um, watch the WNBA when they're playing, right? So I can watch the finals. If it was other teams in here, I honestly wouldn't care to watch. All the legends that I like care about in the WNBA, they've all retired off now, and you got all the new players, but that's since the Aces have been a franchise. So um, one thing I don't know if you ever watch a game, watch Chelsea Gray whenever she passes the ball. She's doing no look passes. Like it's just insane. She just be like running across the court, and then all of a sudden she just like behind the shoulder back pass.
The MLB playoffs have been so good that I didn't realize on Thursday there was even an NFL game being played because I was too
Thursday
busy
was
watching
great.
the MLB playoffs. It's been really good. It's the level of competition that happens when what is it? It switches from regular season to playoff is insane.
Yeah.
And as a Philly sports fan, I had a rough weekend because that Phillies Dodgers game, Phillies were up 3-0.
Yeah, they were up 3. They were putting it to Otani.
Dude,
Otani didn't have a great game. Like he
no.
let those 3 runs in on the second, and then he went 0 for 4 at the plate. I mean, he got the win, but he did not look good. I mean, he did
Yeah.
not look good. That was one that you guys needed, especially with him not playing that well.
No, and especially where they do these division rounds where it's only 5 games. So all these games, obviously they would have mattered if it was 7, but I'll tell you what, I don't really like the wild card 3 games because those series were
I don't
so
either.
that I was like, this should minimum be 5.
Well, what I don't like about the wild card 3 games is, so for those of you who don't know, the wild card is just a 3-game set, best of 3. I don't like it because you don't get to go to the opposing team's ballpark. It's 3
Yeah.
in one place. I hated that.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Especially
Um,
when you have like a rivalry like Yankees Red Sox, where it's
yeah,
just like you want to see those playoff games being played against, in each
I
other's
totally agree. I
it's
totally agree. But I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, your Phillies. I still have faith in the Phillies, especially with it was one bat. It was one bat by Hernandez that took it out, and that was the 3 runs in the 7th. Besides that, I feel like you guys played a great game. So I'm not too worried about your team yet. The teams I am worried about are the Cubbies. Ugh. Talked about that one. I mean, we realistically said it was going to be the Dodgers, the Phillies, or the Brewers, right? That were going to come out of the NL. And right now, that looks like it's going to be good game between LA and Philly, and then you have the Brewers just womp the Cubs. I expect that to be, I expect that to be over in 3. That's going to be a really fast series, but not faster than the Blue Jays Yankees. Yikes! Did you watch any of either one of these games? So
Yeah, no, I've watched them all.
in 2
Yeah.
games, the Blue Jays have put up 23 runs against the Yankees. 23 to 8 runs. That we're looking at like Colorado run differential right now. How bad
I
this is.
mean, also, it couldn't happen to a better team because to see
Oh,
the Yankees get destroyed by a quote unquote small market team like the Blue Jays, oh, I mean, it's warms your heart. It really
it
does.
really does. And
Yeah.
then I know that so you look at the game 2 that happened yesterday, right? You're like, "Oh, 13-7. That looked like it was an okay game." No. I mean, a lot of those runs were the Yankees were in they got 5 of them in the 7th. That was a 2-5 that was a 12-run game. It was 12-0 basically going into the 6th, which is just horrendous.
Rarely do you ever feel like you're watching garbage time in baseball. Like
Oh, it was garbage time.
that's what it's felt like with these Blue Jays games against the Yankees, where it's just like they'll just let the Yankees hit a couple in just so they can feel a little like they can feel something. They
Yeah,
can it's the Blue Jays look like such a better team. It's that series is probably that would be the least interesting series if it wasn't happening to the Yankees.
right.
Like, if that was any other team, you would just be like, "Oh, I'm not watching that one." That's
But
gonna be the 11 o'clock Tuesday game.
so you're talking about the least interesting series. Let's talk about the best interesting the best interesting series. The most interesting series, the best series right now is the Detroit Tigers versus the Seattle Mariners. I've watched every single pitch of both of these games because they have been on during the days that I've worked, the nights that
Yeah.
I've worked. Outstanding. Like
Yeah.
my coworker, who's because like I said, my main coworkers are the one who's from Chicago and the ones from Seattle, and he cares. Like the Mariners are his team. Like he likes the Seahawks and whatnot, but he is a Mariners fan, diehard Mariners fan, and watching him on Saturday night try to work through it and then get the loss in extra innings. Like, I almost he was the late close, and I almost asked, like, "Do you want me to close? Do you need to go, bro?" Because at least my buddy from Chicago, who I work with on Sunday nights, he let me. He took over the bar while I was stressing with the Patriots game. So, shout out to you, bud. I appreciate you on that. That was great. But I really love this Tigers Mariners game, and it's come down to one hit each way. It's been solid. It's been fun. It's
Yeah.
been a game of pitching. It's been a series of pitching between these two.
Well, I just like what is it? Yes, that's the best series, but I feel like much like how the Red Sox Yankees was a great series, but again, if they win the series, the prize is they play the Blue Jays that look like again, they're the best team in the playoffs currently. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
hard to be invested in a Tigers Mariners series that is so good when you know the end result is they're going to play this Blue Jays team that is just like the one of the best teams during the regular season and then during the playoffs clearly has been the best team.
right. I hear you there. However, the pitching for both the Tigers and the Mariners have been outstanding. So that would be the fun thing to watch. And whoever advances,
Yeah,
obviously the Blue Jays are going to advance, but whoever advances out of the Tigers, Mariners, that's going to be fun to watch. It's going to basically be pitching versus batting, and
I agree.
that's why I really hope Seattle gets through, just because Seattle I think would have a little bit more of a chance because they do have Big Dumper behind the plate, both when he's hitting and when he's catching. Um, yeah, when he posted when he's pitching, no, it's when he's hitting. I want to say pitching and catching. Can't do that joke, but yeah, no, I'm really excited for this series to continue. I think this is going to go to a game 5 situation
Yeah.
for the Detroit and Seattle. This is going to be fun. But
I
Cal
also
Raleigh, I mean, talking about him, he did have 3 hits in their loss in game 1. He did have 3 hits off of 5 at bats, and then I didn't. Let's see what he had yesterday. I know he had at least one yesterday. Um,
Well, I think what is it? If you look at it, I think Brewers Cubs is probably over in a sweep.
yeah,
What is it? The Yankees Blue Jays over in a sweep. I could see the other two, the Tigers
going 5.
Mariners, Phillies Dodgers going 5.
Yeah, because
Unless
I see Phillies coming back. I do.
yeah.
Especially with how they handled the ace for the Dodgers and with Otani on the bat. Like they can now do work. They just have to figure out their defense and their pitching just a little bit. But that can be adjusted. You just get in your bullpen a little bit earlier. Yeah, I know you don't want to do that, but if you want to get to the next stage, you might have to sacrifice that and then just throw your hands up to against the Brewers and say this is what we got, and hope for the best. But yeah, Cal Raleigh, he did get another hit in game 2 as well, and he scored one of the runs. So he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. You're just waiting for him to finally hit another jack out of the park, which that's why I think Seattle is still my favorite to win this series. I know they're going back to Detroit, where Detroit has home field advantage now, but I'm still waiting for Raleigh to hit a couple over the park.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing when it comes to the Phillies Dodgers, because obviously that's what I'm most invested in,
Right.
is the
Which play
Phillies.
which play here in like 2 hours, less than 2 hours.
Yeah. In what is it? In the regular season series against each other, the Phillies against the Dodgers are 4-2. Interestingly enough, though, they're 2-4 against the Brewers during the regular season. So again, going into this playoffs, I'm most scared of the Dodgers, but it's not a guarantee that if they get past the Dodgers that they're going to do any better against the Brewers because the 6 times they played against them, they were only able to beat them twice during the regular season. And it's not like those games were, years and months ago. The last 3 games they played against them were in September. So it's not like they played, beginning where you always see those stats where it's like, oh yeah, but that was when they played them in March or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, May. But
So,
it's yeah.
so I do think you guys take tonight because Dodgers have Blake Snell on the mound tonight. He's only started 9 regular season games, and then they're going up against your guys' guy, Jesus Luzardo, and he's great. He's played about, let's see here. Yeah, he's had 22 starts this season right now. He's 15-7. Blake Snell is 5-4. So yeah, obviously the ERA is going to be higher for Luzardo, but it's about a whole run more. But I still have more faith in Luzardo on the mound than Snell on the mound going in today, just because of the experience of starting throughout the season.
Yeah.
Starting
Well,
throughout the season.
also, again, you can't go into game 3 having lost 0-2 at home and
Oh,
then
you
be
can't.
doing the next 2 games in Los
Yeah,
Angeles. So if you
yeah,
can at least split the home series and then to have game 5 back in Philly, like that I
yeah. And
feel like is your ideal scenario.
Luzardo is 8-2 at home, so he should do well. I mean, I'm expecting a win by your team today. Um,
Dear
moving
Lord,
forward.
if again for the state of Pennsylvania, for the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
city.
And Blake Snell is 0-3 away. So this has written Phillies take this all day.
Philadelphia cannot handle Phillies losing, Penn State being upset by UCLA,
Oh,
Eagles losing at home to the Broncos, and then Phillies going 0-2 against the Dodgers at home in the playoffs. The city cannot handle
yeah.
it. It'll
I
be
had some
burnt
of
to
your
the ground.
Eagles fans in last night, and they tried to steal a glass from us. They were smoking on the patio and just
They
like
were
they
lighting things on
yeah.
fire.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was
Well, I mean, close to it. I mean, I really think they were close. I mean, they were lighting things, and there was a
yeah.
lot of flammable things around them.
The city can't
Um,
handle it. The city can't
basically,
handle it.
basically all the ladies' hair were all pretty flammable. Um, the couple that was sitting at the bar top, like the group was right behind them, and the guy just looked at me, and this is like an older couple, like mid-50s, late 50s, and he goes, "That's why they grease the light poles." And I was just like, "Nice."
Yeah. Which,
and,
what's funny?
and
They grease them and they still climb them.
you wanna know what's
Like,
funny? They were at your bar. They were at that's where they watched the game. Not your bar, but the where you go to watch the bar, or where you go watch the game.
the Eagles bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. We almost, you know what? I almost went to that one. I'm
So
so
you would
glad
have
I
seen them.
didn't. Well, no, I'm so glad I didn't because that would have been the first game I was able to make it down there this year. And then they would have lost, and I would have been like, well, we can't come back. We can't come back. But let's use that as the Segu casino over to the NFL. NFL week
Let's do
5.
it.
We're going to start Sunday night football and go backwards because I know Casino wants to talk about his team. Why would he not? His New England Patriots win
Who?
23-20
Who?
against the Buffalo Bills. The most shocking part of this is it
I
was
don't know if I wanna
in
show this
Buffalo.
jersey though, because I'm kind of mad at him. It's a love-hate relationship right now with Ramondre, but we'll get into
Well,
that.
let's talk about it because the floor is yours. Your Patriots upset the
Um,
Bills and the Bills' undefeated season. You have the floor. Talk
it's
about it.
really funny you say the undefeated season part, because right before the game started, in our fantasy, we realized that the 2 undefeated teams in our fantasy league, they were gonna lose, which, by the way, I lost this week. I lost to my coworker I was working with last night.
I
Um
I not only won this week, I scored the most points of any team of
oh,
all
he
season.
That's what he did. That's what he did in last night.
Destroyed.
Yeah. So I had Baker, who played well, but he had the rookie wide receiver, why I'm blanking on his name. Uh
Ibuka.
Ibuka. He had Ibuka. So I get the update that it was like this massive long touchdown by Baker. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, oh no, wait a sec. And I opened up the app and I was just like, damn it. Why did it have to be
Now,
him?
I'm in 2 leagues. The other league I'm in, wait for this. I am currently behind him by 7 points. We have 2 players playing tonight. The only 2 players left on my side, I have one. His name is Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
On the other side, he has one player that is the Jacksonville defense. So it is, and he's currently winning by 7 points.
Yeah.
So if
My
the
league is pretty fun right now. So with those two going down, we have 3 teams now at 4-1, and then we have 6 teams at 3-2.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I mean, very well balanced. I'm really happy about this. It's turning out to be fun. Anyway, so let's get back to my team. Let's just start off with my boy Drake May. He's legit. Like he is legit. This is what everybody thought he could be with a competent coach, with a decent offensive line, and a decent offense around him. And boy, did he look good. So he went 22 for 30. He had no touchdowns, which, pretty surprising, but he looked great. His composure when the pocket would collapse, that last drive where they had to get into field goal range to win it, and he's going down. And I don't know how he got that ball out before he went down. And great catch by Diggs, by the way, to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Also, the
Diggs
other
had the revenge game of all
oh,
revenge games.
we'll get to him in a second,
Yeah.
but also that he how Drake May would run out of the pocket and he would always go to his right, like 90% of the time he'd go to his right. That one bomb that he threw down to Diggs on the sideline, his accuracy and the way that he still was able to throw a perfect spiral on the run, sidearmed, was just beautiful. And that juke move that Diggs did on the safety or the corner was just dirty. It was so good. I loved everything that I saw last night, outside of Ramondre fumbling again. But yeah, Stephon Diggs, 10 receptions, 146 yards, no touchdowns, but he did not care. He was so happy. I loved how they kept panning to him on the sideline, and he was just hyping up his team. He was ready to be there. That was a fun game. But Drake May is great. He's absolutely phenomenal. He's everything I was hoping he could be with a competent coach, competent offense, and a decent offensive line. And it's great.
Yeah. And well, also Diggs, I think it's telling that the two best games Diggs has ever had is the return game when he was with what is it? When he was with the Minnesota Vikings. The return game to Buffalo is his best game ever until this one where it was his revenge game against Buffalo with the Patriots. So this guy, he just really hates his former team. And
Yeah, he does.
thank
It was
God. I think honestly, 40% of the reason he signed with the Patriots is so he could play the Buffalo Bills twice a year.
probably,
I
but
don't know what they
well,
did to him, but
Ye
he hates them.
40% that, and then 60% because he also knew that he would be the number 1 target on that team. I mean, he leads
Yeah.
the league in receptions for a team.
Well, in this game,
Most targets for a player per team is basically what it was.
well, in
Um,
this game, let's see, he was targeted 12 times. The second closest to him was on his own team was targeted 4 times.
yeah,
So if you're gonna
it
get
was
that
Stephon Diggs.
if you're going to get that kind of attention, like why would you not want to be on a team where you're going to be literally the only option? And again, when
100%.
you're the only option, you can put up 10 receptions, 146 yards. Every wide receiver in the league is going to take that 100%.
All day.
100%. Yeah.
But what I noticed, I didn't get to read the full stat about it, was the guy that was gonna bleed and die for Drake May. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his name? The left tackle. Oh my goodness, why am I blanking on his name?
It's your team, buddy.
Yeah, the guy that we just picked up. I'm just having one of those days where I just can't.
The first round pick. The
Will Campbell.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, everything he played well. Like, I'm just really happy with this team in general. They've done well. Sorry, my phone was blowing up at the same time. I don't know what's going on
Dude,
here.
I'll tell you what, Drake May, again, we always talk about
Where's
him
my
as
phone?
he's a threat to run. Didn't run at all yesterday, only attempted it 3 rushes for 12 yards. But his completion percentage, I think, is what is setting him apart from other young quarterbacks because again, we talk so much about where we're talking about Bryce Young or we're talking about Cam Ward, and their completion percentage, again, is like
Sorry.
50% on the season. Drake May in this game, 73% completion percentage. And on the season, I would be shocked if he dropped below 67%. Like, it's just with how accurate he is with the ball and how smart he is with the ball, it's no wonder why
So you're
he's
saying for
putting
like the
up.
season,
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying in this game, he was 73%
right?
completion percentage.
But you're
On
saying for
the
the season,
Yeah,
you'd be
if
surprised?
I'd be right now, he's currently at 73% completion percentage. His only game that he has had less than 73% is that week 1 game against the Raiders. So I'm saying as the season progresses and he has more, I mean, listen to these numbers. Since that Raiders game, he had 83% completion percentage, 76%, 82%. Last night he had 73%. It's going to be shocking to me again if he's under 75% completion percentage at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
and
Like,
it
just with
what's crazy
how
to me is
efficient
just
he
the
is.
amount, and this is why I wasn't freaking out at the beginning of the season when they lost to the Raiders, and then lost to the Steelers. Was this is a brand new team? They have like 9 new starters on offense or something crazy like that. They needed to get it together. This is a brand new team, brand new coach, a lot of rookies. It takes time for players to get it figured out, and boy, have they figured it out. I really thought you could say whatever you want about that Panthers game, but I mean, the Panthers, they've won, right? They've won a couple really good games in the last 3 weeks. Um, so I'm really happy about this. I think the Patriots are legit and they win one back. Now they're back on track for me to win 11 games this season, when what I have marked off and what I agree with my brother. And we can get into that later. But Ramondre Stevenson got his jersey on right now. He needs to hold onto the ball. He looked really sad. And the press conference after the game, they had talked to him about that, and he just brought it up again. He's like, I need to get this fixed. He's like, I'm just happy and thankful that the coaches still believe in me in this. I mean, he went out and he got 2 touchdowns after that. So like
Yeah.
he redeemed himself, but you can't do that. Like, we got the turnover. You can't first play turn it right back over to him. So with that being said, let's talk about the Bills turnovers. Josh Allen, who went 22 for 31, he had 2 touchdowns, an interception, and there was multiple fumbles here. So yeah,
I
Josh Allen was
do.
one of them, but I don't think
Well,
that was Josh's fault. That was you got to have hands. I mean, you got to have hands on that pitch. Come on now.
I do think it's very telling that by default, it was either coming into this week, it was Eagles Bills by default were the two best teams in the league, right? Because simply by the fact that they had been undefeated, both those teams before
Oh
this
yeah,
weekend. But I also think when you were hearing discussions about the Eagles or Bills, multiple people, ourselves included, were going, this Eagles team isn't the one that just won the Super Bowl. There's something up with this Bills team because, again, the way they struggled against the Saints, the way they struggled against the Dolphins, two of the worst teams in the league,
yeah,
we were coming on here and just saying they're going to, like, not neither of these teams are going undefeated,
no,
obviously, but they have glaring issues that if they face the right team at the right time, those glaring issues are going to be on full effect.
right, 100.
And
percent They were shown
we'll talk about that with the Eagles Bills or the Eagles Broncos game, but with the Jets or whatever, it really does, or with the Bills, I'm sorry,
Bills,
it really does feel like when this year, when James Cook just doesn't have it, their offense kind of sputters. It really seems
right,
like he's the one opening up Josh Allen to go win them games because there's then this dual threat. Teams are
right.
worried about the run. So you guys shut down Cook last night. He only had 15
Well,
attempts for 49
what have
yards.
I've been saying this the whole time, right? And then Josh Allen had the most with 53 on 9 attempts because that's just his scramble, and that's Josh Allen for you.
Well,
But
also that shows him not finding anybody open.
and so that's what I'm about to talk about, and then we can move on from this game. Is I have already told you that I really like the Patriots' run defense. I
Yes.
thought it's been great. They know how to stack up. You get 2-3 yards maybe.
They're
Um,
second in the league right now in rush defense.
They are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wasn't worried about that. I was worried about over the top. Christian Gonzalez finally played this game, and Carlton, and then yeah, Davis the third. He came out. He looked great as well because he got banged up the last couple games. So having both of them out there, finally, that 1-2 duo, that's what I was expecting. That's what we needed in those first few games was real competency between the two where they they were able to mesh. They had to be on the field at the same time, which they weren't. Um, that's what I was hoping for is when you got these two out this game that the back would look the secondary would look good. And they did. And they made Josh Allen had to work for it. He had to find the open targets. I mean, he still played well. I mean, well enough. He had 2 touchdowns, 253 yards, 22 for 31. Like that's not nothing. But the Patriots defense made him work for it. And I'm so excited. As long as Gonzalez and Davis can stay healthy, that secondary will be just fine. And then that rush defense is just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really excited for this. I do think the Patriots have a legitimate shot now of making the playoffs, not just because they're 3-2 and a lot of teams are 3-2, but the Ravens, we expected them to win the division. And then we had the Steelers in, right? We had the
Yes.
Steelers in. Well, we don't believe in anybody else in that division, right? Nobody.
No.
Steelers are going to win that division. Nobody else is going to make the playoffs. Just it's not going to happen in that
Yeah.
division. So that
And you
opens up
guys
right there opens up a playoff spot.
Well, you guys also play the Bengals and the Ravens on your schedule, which before the start of the
I had the
season,
Bengals beating the Patriots.
yeah, and we also had the Ravens beating them as well when we were going through and being
Mhm.
like, how does this
There's a
team get to 10
legitimate shot
wins?
that this Patriots team can go on a real tear, and I love seeing Vrabel. I don't know if you saw it. He was in the tunnel as the Patriots players were coming down into the locker room, and he's like chest bumping, he's high fiving, like he is. I love Vrabel so god. His energy is infectious, and this team loves it. So,
Yeah. Well, when you look at the Patriots' upcoming schedules, like
well, this is
legitimate,
now where I expect them to go on an absolute just destructive path,
yeah,
and you
they
feel good
play
after this.
Saints, Titans, Browns. I think those are three where confidently you can say you're going to be favored in all those games. You're most likely going to win those games. And again, you get Saints, Titans on the road. So it's not like you're getting these bad, or it's not like you're getting good teams where you have to go on the road, like with
Mhm,
Buffalo. After that, you get Browns at home. Falcons might be a test, but you get them at home.
mhm.
Then you have Buccaneers, which again,
That's
but again, Buccaneers haven't played no matter what competition
well,
they're
they
facing.
just played Seattle, and that was the best game and one of the best game I mean, right now, Baker would be my MVP for the league.
Yeah, I think so. But again, with the Buccaneers, no matter if they're playing good teams or bad teams, it's always a back and forth game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Like and then after that, you get Jets, Bengals, Giants, Bills, a team you just beat, you get them at home, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins. Like
dude,
that could be
right?
there's not again, you beat the Bucks and Falcons in the 2 weeks in November.
This is what I was
Where's
saying,
the
dude,
other
like
loss? Where's the other
like
loss? There's gonna be a weird one in there. There always is.
yeah.
So you think worst case scenario, you're losing 3 more games. That still puts you at what? 12-5? Like,
I said that this team can reach 10. This team can reach 10, and that's with, some leeway, but I think they're clicking. I finally think they're clicking. That was the biggest win, and that game should just propel them and just launch them through the next 4 or 5 games. So I'm really excited for this team. I like Vrabel. He's got that figured out. And once that Drake May and Diggs connection just grows even more, like that's gonna be a scary duo. That's gonna be a scary duo. And as long as the running backs can hold on to the ball, which we got to say, Gibson, who's calling me? Oh, my brother's calling me. Um, Gibson, he did tear his ACL, so he's out. So now Trayvon Henderson is going to be the backup, and we'll just have to see what he's doing. So move on. I'm going to take this call. Go for it.
yeah. Well, we move from Casino's team and the joys of victory to my team and the despair of defeat because my Philadelphia Eagles lose the first time this season against the Denver Broncos at home. Uh Now I will wait for Casino to get back on here to talk about calls. I'm not going to do a big referee what is it? I'm not going to do a big referee rant I've done those enough in the past. Go look at my Twitter if you want to see me bitching about the refs. But
So
yeah,
that was so that was actually my brother. Apparently, he sent something in our Patriot chat, um, and I'm gonna send it to you. And yeah, let's see if we can get this on air. I'll check to see if this is good before I can send it up. But apparently, it's about Josh Allen and everything about what we're talking about currently. So I'll send it your way.
okay. But yeah, so talking about my Eagles casino, I think when it comes to this game, obviously I'll do a mini rant about the refs, but it cannot be understated how when you have looked at this Eagles season so far, they just do not play full and complete games. And it is come back to bite them in the ass more than once, especially where the Buccaneers last week almost came back and won when they had that game fully in hand for the entire game almost, and then all of a sudden they let the Bucks back into it. Going into the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter in this game, they had a 17-3 lead. So after the 17-3 lead and the touchdown with 1 minute and 37, or no, I'm sorry. The touchdown in the third quarter that took a minute 30 to get, right? So it was 6 plays, 74 yards. It takes them a minute 40 seconds to get a touchdown. After that, this is what the Broncos did. They did touchdown that took 12 plays, 62 yards.
Yeah.
Touchdown that took 8 plays, 82 yards. Field goal that took 17 plays, 46 yards, end of game. So you look at what the Eagles were going into the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, they were up 17-3. So again, yes, the calls in this game were abysmal. And again, the one thing I've always been consistent when it comes to calls on for this show and my entire life watching football, I do not want bullshit calls to favor my team, and I do not want them to hurt my team
Yeah, we're in the
because
same boat right there. We've talked about that plenty.
again, when you are watching a game where your team gets all the calls, to think and be stupid enough to think you will not be on the other end of that where all the calls go against your team is why you should not root for when all the calls go for your team. Because again, no team in the history of the NFL has ever gotten all the calls to go like for them. So when people are saying in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, like, oh, well, that was a holding call and like that, that's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. And then you get to the end of this game where it's a clear holding call on Goddard, and they're just like, well, you just got to let him play. Like, I mean, you can't call a penalty right there. You can't call that penalty in week 4, but you can call that penalty in the Super Bowl to win, to decide the game. That's why I'm saying either make it across the board where no matter what, any contact whatsoever, it's pass interference, or make it where you just let them play. You can't have it wishy-washy both ways where we call it sometimes, we don't call it anytime, because then you get shit like this where it's just like the call benefits you, the call goes against you. And again,
Well,
all we've heard for the past month of the season is the Eagles get all the calls. I never see any compilations of them getting all the calls. When we were getting so much shit on this podcast for saying the Chiefs get all the calls, we watched 5-minute videos of them getting every call in every crucial minute of every crucial game. Like, that's again, you could do the same with the Patriots. I'm sure if you went back to the 49ers and Cowboys dynasties, you could also watch those type of compilations. But again, it's just annoying when you're watching a football game and you're just like, okay, well, that's a penalty. That's like the only penalty I will take offense to and bitch about in this game is the throw to Goddard. You can watch that in regular time and be like, that's pass interference. You can watch it in slow motion and be like, that's pass interference. Other things in this game, you watch in slow motion and you can reasonably make the call where you're just like, yeah, the Zach Bond,
but I
like,
hate that slow motion thing. Like
I do
you
too. I
watch it
hate
in real
it so
time. Like, if
much.
you in slow motion, 90% of the time, it looks like it's a penalty. When you're going full speed, you could tell people are trying to pull up or this or that. Like, so there was one here in the Patriot game where it was roughing after the play out of bounds, right? And the guy literally he's running down the line with them, and he tries to just go like this. He still gets his shoulder into him, but he's running full speed. He's trying to stop. He's not trying to push or lean into it. He just kind of went like this,
Yeah.
and he called. And I'm like, in slow motion, yeah, it looked like he just totally blew through him. But in real time, the the receiver was not it was a bang bang play to where he ended up going out of bounds when that wasn't his genuine route,
Yeah.
and it's like he ran into the other player. I was just like, whatever.
Well,
But
the comparable
point on this,
example
man.
the comparable example in the Eagles Broncos game is, did you see the play where Zach Bond got called for 15 yards unnecessary roughness?
Yeah,
So in
totally.
that play, what is it? Again, slow motion, he comes in late. During the play, I believe it was RJ Harvey. It might have been Dobbins, but I think it was Harvey. But Harvey, it's a 3rd and 2. He's tackled behind the line. He's still up and he's trying to get the first down because obviously it's 2 yards in front of him. So you see the guy holding onto his legs and RJ Harvey trying to place the ball again like a smart player to get the first down. So why wouldn't the nearest Eagles defender, which just in this moment happened to be Zach Bond, why would he not try to jump on that guy to stop him from getting the first down? Again, you look in slow motion and you're just like, oh, he came in so late. When the play's happening, it's a play that takes 3 seconds and the guy is not down because the whistle's not down. So then saying like, oh,
He's
well,
going down, but he's
yeah,
not down.
but he's not down. And the first marker is the first down marker. That again, that was a crucial point
I mean,
where
we can
the,
see the Penix one. Like, players are strong enough in the NFL to
that's true.
push themselves up
Great
with one
example.
arm.
Yeah.
So he could have done that.
So now
Um,
again, I will say outside of the calls, because we can bitch about those, really the only call in the game that I think was egregious is the Goddard PI at the end of the game. Because again, that does not give the Eagles the win. That gives them one play from like the 7 to try. They need a touchdown to win. So it's
it's
not like,
easier from the 7 than from whatever it was, like the 30 or whatever
yeah,
it was.
but also people being like, oh, well, the Eagles would have got bailed out by the refs. They still would have had to make a touchdown with one, like they would have had one play for a touchdown. Like and then again, it's not like it's giving them it at the 1 and then they just push in to win. They still would have needed to run a play. But again, I will say they shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with because they gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
including
And
the
I
most obvious 2-point conversion call of all time
Yeah,
that the
and I
Eagles
wanna
fell
point
for.
that out. I mean, we talk about Bo Nixon, he's kind of been on or off, but he
He
was
had a
9 for
great
10.
game.
He was 9 for 10 in that fourth quarter with that is really good when you need your young quarterback to come in clutch. He has made the most passes in the NFL this season, the most pass attempts in the NFL this season. Like, 100
Really?
he's just like, "Go for it." Yeah. Sean Payton's like, "I trust you. Throw the ball, man. Throw the
Well,
ball." And this is what I was telling you real quick. I was told you this was gonna be a good game. I told you, like,
yeah,
the Broncos were only 4 points away from being undefeated this
yeah.
season. This was gonna be a really good game. It came down to the wire. I'm glad I called that. And yeah, I mean, I can't call other games, but I knew that this was gonna be a good game.
Well,
Um,
also, I'll tell you what, on our TikTok, there was a guy really hard arguing that Bo Nix was a garbage quarterback before the start of the season. After the first game of the season, of course, where he threw 1 touchdown, 2
yeah, you're
interceptions,
you're you're
hopped
expecting
on
you're
there.
Oh, sorry,
Well,
go.
yeah, hopped on there real quick, just being like, see, I told you, I told you. I'll tell you what, that guy's been pretty quiet the last month. Haven't seen one comment since now Bo Nix has
Again,
8
from what I
touchdowns,
just
4
said,
interceptions.
Sean Payton is letting a second-year rookie throw the most,
Yeah.
football the most,
Pass attempts.
pass attempts, thank you. Obviously, my brain's not here, I'm trying. The most pass attempts Wow, I'm gonna stop talking for a minute. This is great.
Yeah, regain your composure right there.
I
But
can never
yes,
regain my
you're
composure. Are you kidding
saying
me?
you're saying Bo Nix would Sean Payton, the
Pretty good.
quarterback guru, quote
Pretty good.
unquote, sees a second year quarterback and is saying throw the ball the most of any quarterback in the league and we're going to win some games.
Because
And
I
I'll tell you
trust you.
what, yeah, he did win that game.
Yeah.
The fumble again, I really think we need to change that rule where the rule I would change the most in the NFL is the quarterback's arm going forward. And then it's like, oh, well, he was attempting to pass. So that's a fumble. I think if it gets knocked out of his arms when the pass is not past I think if the ball does not go past the line of scrimmage, automatic fumble across the board. Because the whole thing where it's like, oh, well, his arm was up and then it got hit and the ball went out 20 yards behind him, but he was clearly attempting to pass. So it's an incomplete pass. It's like, yeah, but the pass, it wasn't a
Yeah.
pass. It got knocked out of his arm. Like, again, I think that is just one of those. But again, that's not just for my team. Across the board, if the ball gets
That's
knocked out of
fair.
your quarterback's arms, it's a fumble.
Well, let me say this.
Last bit, or
Go
go ahead.
for it. Oh, I was gonna say that there's no great teams. There's no dominant team in the NFL this season.
No.
But I mean, you shouldn't be worried. Your team is still 4-1. They went up against a team who I still expect to kind of make a run here and possibly still win this division. Um, it-
Well,
it-
especially with the Chargers not looking that good the past
right.
couple weeks.
So I'm happy. I'm still on that Bronco train here. Um,
Yeah.
so let's start moving into some other
Well,
games. We're
hold
gonna.
on, wait.
Oh, go for it. You had
Last
something.
bit I will say
It's
on
your
this.
team, your game. Talk.
And this will not be this will be quick. Last thing on this is
You
when
usually are.
ask my wife. When the
That's
what
me.
is it? Yeah.
Well, hey,
What what the Eagles are one of those teams, especially Nick Sirianni, for better or for worse, he gives in to what the fans want from this team. The year they went to the Super Bowl the first time against the Chiefs, they were like, "Hey, we're passing the ball too much. We need to run more." And then he completely switched the offense into a run-heavy team. They went to the Super Bowl. Last year, same thing. They were like, "Why'd we get Saquon Barkley if we're going to pass the ball so much against the Packers?" Leaned into letting Saquon run the ball, became a run-first team, went to the Super Bowl. This year, it was the opposite. They had so much success last year running the ball that people were like, including players on his own team, were like, we don't pass the ball enough. So then in a week 5 game against the Broncos, Jalen Hurts passes the ball 38 times, has 2 touchdowns, 100 quarterback rating, 280 yards, 60% completion percentage. So it shows when they want to pass, they can. The only issue is now every single time you watch the Eagles on offense, every single one of their plays is a Jalen Hurts is going to stand behind the line of scrimmage, dance around for 5 to 8 seconds, and then heave the ball deep. And then either Devontae Smith is going to catch it or AJ Brown is going to stop running on a wide open pass and then try to catch
how
up to the
over
ball. And
how
it's going to
over
be
Brown are you? Because he's the one that cost you that game. Because that was in Smith's hands.
what is well the again the AJ Brown bullied bullied the fan base and the coaching staff into passing the ball more to him. In this game, he gets a wide open deep shot. He gets wide open on a double move and then he stops running when the ball is coming to him because he thinks the ball is not coming to him and he would have had over 100 yards, a touchdown, a wide open 50 plus yard bomb if he just would have kept running to it. But he said after the game, like, oh, I just didn't think the ball was coming to me. Okay, well, you're wide open. The quarterback still has the ball. Why would you stop running? There's no logical
You're getting
reason why
paid
he would
millions of
stop.
dollars to run. Even if you
You
don't
have
get
been
the
complaining that you haven't been getting the ball enough. The quarterback's looking at you. He has the ball in his hands. You're wide open. And then guess what? Shocker. The ball comes to him. And because he stopped on the play, like, we don't,
I just still wild that video that you sent me of it's in Smith's hands and then Brown knocks it out of his hands.
dude, the Hail Mary at the end, Brown is behind Devontae Smith holding him, trying to catch the Hail Mary that is in Devontae Smith's hands, causing Devontae Smith to drop it. It's like he single-handedly cost them the game. Now, obviously, the offensive coordinator is going to get a lot of shit in this game. He should. You rushed Saquon Barkley 6 attempts, only 6 attempts when he was averaging 5 yards a carry.
And you know
So
he's going to break one of those.
you have a 2 touchdown lead. Why are you not running the ball? I need more. I need more dink and dunks. I need more slants. I need more bubble screens. I'm so tired of every pass being let's dance around while all our wide receivers run streaks. It's stupid. It's dumb. When I'm watching the game, I'm explaining all this to my wife, and my wife goes, "You should be the offensive coordinator for the Eagles." And I said, "No, literally anybody else but Petula should be, because we have all these all-pro players, and he's running this offense like he's my son playing Madden when he's 6 years old, just being like, I'm just going to send everybody as far as they can, and then I'm going to throw the ball as far as I can.
You know who they
On
should
every play.
this is going to make you even more angry. You know who they should look is the 49ers, Mac Jones. All they did in that
That's
game
what
was
I'm saying.
all they did was the dink and dunk. So
Dude,
I mean,
all they did on the Broncos was throw passes 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and they were running 17-yard drives for 80 yards.
I mean, I was so furious watching, obviously, because I don't want the Niners to do well. I'm happy for Mac Jones, but I was watching the game. I'm like, what are the Rams doing? They were
I know.
it's literally the same. Yeah,
Dude, and not only
Shanahan
that,
was just like, oh, you're gonna let me do the 5-yard dig and dunk the whole way down the field, the entire game.
and the Rams defense was like, okay, every single play we're gonna stand 7 yards off your wide receivers.
Dude, it was the funniest thing. It was the funniest thing. Mac Jones, he looked like a god because he's just standing there, just going,
I know.
got it.
Dude,
I
and
could do that. I could do that. I
that's
can
what I'm
take.
saying.
I could get the ball snap. I mean, obviously I have to be able to take the snap, which I don't know if I can. Like that. That's really one underrated thing in football is how those quarterbacks take that snap. Like that
How
handoff
about
is so fast. But anyway,
again, for every offense in the NFL, you should
tangent.
have 50 plays where your quarterback takes 2 steps back and then gets the ball out. That should be in every NFL quarterback's arsenal, every offensive coordinator's playbook, where we just go,
there was
hey,
this
we
one
need 3
quarterback
yards.
there's one quarterback that made a living off of that.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. And you want to know what happened when he had one of the greatest receivers of the last 50 years with Randy Moss and being that long ball? They didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They didn't win a Super Bowl. But guess what? When they have that quick dink and dunk, the wide out running backs, whatever you want to do, just that quick 5-yard out route all day.
I'll tell you what,
all day.
when last week watching 2 bombs on like messed up coverage get dropped or get thrown from Baker Mayfield to the Bucks, where he went like 75 yards and 80 yards, 2 on broken coverages. Neither of those were as painful as every time the Broncos would get the ball on offense and they would do 10 plays that would take 7 minutes and they would slowly go down the field with 6-yard completions. That is so much more soul crushing to a team than, oh, our defensive back fell down and he just got burned for 80 yards. Like that doesn't hurt teams because you just go, oh, well, that's not going to happen again. He's not going to fall down again. The 3 to 6 yard completions over and over again, you could see the Eagles defense just being like, I don't know how to stop. Like, we have nothing to stop this. We can't. It's just like that's so much more demoralizing to a team.
Yeah.
And we only spent so much time on this game because there's so many games that there's just nothing to talk about.
So here's the thing. I'm going to take over here because I've got a pretty good rundown of how I want to run through these games that don't really care about. And then we're going to talk about the Bucks Seahawks. But
yes,
we'll get through all these games.
Good.
We'll get through all these games. So obviously did we talk about the Ravens and Texans or did we try to do that in the okay? Yes. So Ravens Texans are done. They just look bad. I thought Cooper Rush could come in and do what he did in Dallas. But this defense is just god awful because I still don't think the Texans are good. So I really don't think the Texans are good. I think they just played the worst defense in the league, which I will legitimately say I think the Ravens defense is the worst defense in the league. They
And
just
their
don't want to.
offense might not be much better without Lamar Jackson because
Yeah,
that offense was anemic.
yeah.
Anemic.
But as you said, they went against a good run defense, and the Texans pretty much just stuffed them up. But that's that. That was a boring game. We had the Saints Giants. Jackson Dart, he looked good. I mean, he looked good, but good for the Saints coming out, getting their first win. We've talked about their grit all season, and Rattler just wanting to be a. I mean, Jackson Dart had to throw 40 times, which is nuts. So he had 2 interceptions. You can't expect much from a first year
I'll
quarterback.
I'll tell
So
you what though, he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then he threw 2 of the worst rookie-looking interceptions you're ever
yeah,
gonna see, and then they also had that fumble, I believe, for a touchdown, so, yeah, Saints, uh,
Saints Rattler looked good. I
he
mean,
did.
he looked good. 21 for 31, protected the football, 225 yards, a touchdown. They finally got their win, and I'm proud and happy for them. Why? Because I like teams that s- still fight, teams that have grit. And yes, you have the Bucks who are doing that, who are just a better team in doing that. But we've seen that from the Saints all season. I think taking Buffalo like they did last week was a real big jump for them. And obviously
Well
going against another bad defense, which is, in my opinion, I'm over the Giants.
well, then again, like we just said, like the team we just talked about, I've seen more fight in this Saints team all season than I've seen any fight from this Ravens team after that week 1 game against Buffalo.
All day,
Like you can
all
and
day.
yeah, and it's like the records are the same, but I would take the Saints right now if I'm a fan of either team over what the Ravens are doing.
Yeah, put Ravens Saints. I would take Saints.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let's talk about another. So I've talked about how I think Baker is MVP right now. I would say runner up is Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. By God, is he playing some good ball? I
Yeah.
I I like. He doesn't have a number one receiver with CD Lamb out, and everybody's like, oh, he's done. Like the season's done. Their defense is not good, and they're not going to be able to put up any more points because CD Lamb, because they've all been shootouts. Dak has looked like this is the best season I think Dak has played.
Yeah.
I up to this point, and it's a shame that they're 2-1. Obviously, I like that because I don't care for the Cowboys, but I've never disliked Dak, and I really like what he's doing. He had 4 touchdowns, 18 for 29. He looked great.
He
He,
has
he
10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season, and that's including week 1 where he threw no touchdowns or interceptions.
yeah, and
So
again,
in
he's doing this
4
without a
games.
number one receiver.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see that Dak himself is doing well. Jets 0-5 seems about right. That team's done.
I'll tell
And
you
it
what though, you
sucks.
gotta feel bad for Justin Fields. He
I do.
plays good in these games.
I
He
do.
really
I do feel
does.
bad for Justin Fields. We've talked about this. He went from one bad organization to another bad organization who have never been able to get it right, who have just never been able to get it right. I mean, the Jets had Aaron Rodgers last year and they couldn't get that right. And look, they're going to win the division with the Steelers. Like,
This should have been on my season long hot take, but I thought the Raiders were gonna be good. If Justin Fields was on the Raiders right now, the Raiders would be 500 team. They would be
yeah,
I mean,
they'd
they're
probably
they're 1-4 right now. I really think they could be potentially 2 and
three
2,
and
3 and 1
yeah,
with
all day,
Justin Fields. Yeah.
all day. Moving on, Colts just rolling, just absolutely rolling. That offense is absolutely legit. That defense is great. This Colts
I'll
team is good.
I'll tell you what, right there with Baker, right there with Dak Prescott, you got to put Daniel Jones.
I
6
love it.
touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like and again, he's
He's just
leading.
he's commanding the offense is what he's doing. He
Yeah.
doesn't have to be special. I mean, he was 20 for 29. He had the 2 touchdowns, 212 yards. He just he's just special. Like he doesn't have to be the guy throwing the team on his back. He's just out there. He's doing it. He's just
The,
he's doing what he needs to do, and that's it. And he's letting the defense step up. He's letting his running back step up. He doesn't have to do a whole lot, but
well,
he's
and
doing what he needs to do.
this is the exact Shane Steichen offense that took the Eagles to the Super Bowl the first time against the
Mhm.
Chiefs.
Looked
And
so good.
if Hurts wouldn't have been hurt the last 3 games of the season, he would have won MVP that season.
Yeah.
So
So we gotta
Daniel
look at
Jones,
the Colts here and start talking about them.
4
Like
and 1. That's
start
crazy.
start really talking about them on making a playoff push here.
Well, because not only are they 4-1, but they are annihilating teams. Like,
Yeah.
they are doing
And it's
exactly
not
what
just
you
it's
want.
not just shootouts also. I mean,
No,
they're
they're
they're,
just
they're stomping on
mollywopping them.
teams.
Ugh. Uh,
And then so moving on, we got the Panthers Dolphins. What a lame game. I mean, it ended up being fun, but I didn't care to watch any of this. So my real question to you is because I still don't believe in the Panthers. I know you're like, yay, Panthers, they've done okay. When do you think one more game and then Mike McDaniels gets fired?
Yeah, especially because you're seeing videos of him like on the sideline or walking back to the tunnel and stuff like that. He, again, we thought the team didn't give up on him and they were going to fight for him, but that seemed to be just a Thursday night Buffalo thing because we haven't seen that outside of any other game this season. Again, I don't think he's the issue. I don't think, even in a game where Tua plays great,
Yeah, they had
uh,
three touchdowns, 27 for 36. He looked good. He
so
looked good.
he is the offensive mind. That defense for the Dolphins again is just kind of, I wouldn't even say middle of the road. They're not. They're 26 in the league in total defense. So that defense is bad. He's in charge of the offense. Can't get this defense right. So again, I just think after this season, you really have to decide, is Mike McDaniels really the issue, or do we just got to do a reset? And
Yeah.
I think kind of the reset seems like the way to go.
Yeah, but
Like,
we gotta do a shout out to Rico Dowdle. He looked great. He had 206 rushing yards.
that's crazy.
What? And
And
then he had 28 receiving yards. Like that's insane.
also Bryce
He,
Young, and I told you, I really like McMillan. McMillan has come
yeah.
on as
Oh
I
yeah.
think potentially the best rookie wide receiver this year. He looks really good.
Yeah. So I mean,
Outside
good
of
good for
what,
the Panthers
Ibuka?
for fighting and being 2-3. But they should have beat the Dolphins. I think I
If
had the
my
Panthers on
team
that one, right? I think I picked the Panthers.
yes, we both picked the Panthers.
Yeah.
Outside, I'll tell you what, outside of my team losing, this would have been a huge week for me. Panthers win, Titans win. If Eagles would have won, all my teams would have been,
Well, let's talk
3-0.
about those Titans. The Titans didn't win that game. The Cardinals lost that game because dumb dipshit, I don't know his name. I don't want to know his name because I don't want to dude, that it's a 70-yard touchdown and you just blow it.
I know.
You just watched the player do that last week. You're an idiot. Tighten it up, and you blew it. You blew it. The Titans did not win this game. The Titans still didn't look good. You saw their head coach just like freaking out on the sideline, like, "Oh, we did it, we did." No, you didn't do it. The Cardinals blew it.
So
There's a big difference.
So
There's a big
this
difference.
is, and this is from NFL memes. We love NFL memes.
I love it.
This is word for word what they said. The Arizona Cardinals just suffered perhaps the most hilarious loss in NFL history.
Yeah.
They had a 21-6 fourth quarter lead. They fumbled crossing the goal line to go up 28-6. They then fumbled an interception for a touchdown up 21-12 with less than 5 minutes left, and then obviously lost on a go-ahead field goal. But I will say that there is a clip I'm going to see if I can find right now of Gannon, a coach that you and I both do not like. I don't like him a lot more than you don't. But he is on the sidelines talking to the guy who fumbled the touchdown. He's screaming in his face and he just straight up punches him in the stomach. Have you seen this video?
No, but
I'm
I'm ready.
gonna pull this up right here. So for our fans listening to the podcast, what I just said happens is what happens. So you can see him again. Gannon
He's got
goes up to the guy. He's talking to the running back, and by talking, I mean screaming in his face. And as he walks away, he just straight up punches him in the stomach. I mean, obviously the guy's wearing pads and all that kind of stuff, but you can see
That's not
how
how you
pissed off
coach,
he is.
bro.
Well, I don't
I mean,
think
you still should be upset, but you don't do that on the sideline. Look at Vrabel and Ramondre. That's a great example. You could see the disdain from Vrabel, like again. But guess what? He had faith in his player. He went in there. I mean, obviously, a lot had to do with Gibson getting hurt, but he goes, "You're still back out there." And you saw him in the tunnel. Like Ramondre is like, "My bad." Like you can see, like he's all down when Vrabel's like hyping up the team as they're coming down the tunnel. Vrabel puts his arm around him and it's like, "You're like, they're gonna figure it out." And that's what you need. You need a player's coach, not a coach that's going to punch you in the stomach. So
Also, where are all the Cardinals fans who said this Cardinals team was good? Gannon was a good coach. You just lost to the worst team in the
oh, I
league.
mean, they're
Your
already in Arizona in a living hell. Just leave them be.
your total offense is
But
23rd, or your total offense is 28th in the league. Your total defense is 23rd in the league. But
and I say
remember,
and I say that go for it.
no, just remember the Cardinals are a good team with a good coach.
Yeah. And I say
Currently,
they're in a living hell, and the reason I say that is because I know it's hot in Vegas, but when I just went to Arizona, just Scottsdale for my brother's bachelor party,
oof,
dude, it's not only as hot, if not hotter than Vegas, it's
dude,
also a bit muggy.
it's way hotter. They have clay bricks that just melt out
Dude,
there like during the summer.
it's so great. It's a living hell. Anyway, so moving on, because I still want to talk about some other stuff here, before we get out of here, if you have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Um,
Keep going.
so we have the Commanders, Chargers. Chargers, I don't know what's happening to them, but thank you for letting my Bronco pick kind of go forward here. But Commanders, Jaden Daniels looked good coming back after being injured. Um, he wasn't great, but he was there, and I was really happy about that. Um,
I'll tell you who was great. Krosky Merritt, another
and
running back I picked up off the
looked
waiver wire that
pretty
somebody
great, dude.
dropped.
He was
Ooh,
doing pretty good. I'm happy for a lot of these players really starting to shine. These younger players coming out. Justin Herbert, he did okay. I
he had
mean,
that great run.
he
That
had that great
rush.
run. I mean, yeah, the 41-yard run. I feel bad for him because I don't think this is him, and I don't think it's the coach. I don't know what's going on
They're
because
they're charging. That's what it is. They're charging.
it, it's
Who would
funny
have
because it's what they're looking going back to what they have been the previous seasons, where it's like this team is supposed to be great. They have the pieces. Why aren't they winning?
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't make Super Bowl picks after week 1 because everybody had Chargers Packers as the Super Bowl after week 1, and now both those teams have kind of fallen back to earth after we elevated
Yeah,
them so high. But I'll tell you what, before the start of the season, we picked the Broncos. They're coming back.
I love
They're
it. And then a team that's not coming back, we got the Bengals versus Lions. Oh my God, did the Lions just have their way? Like, I'm surprised the Bengals got 24 points out of this. And those are those garbage minute touchdowns, those long bombs to Jamar Chase,
yeah.
which cool, good for Jamar Chase. I'm glad to see Jamar Chase actually, get something because I feel bad for him as well. Just not just as bad for, if not as bad as I do for um, Burrow. I
Yeah.
would love to see that duo on another team that actually gives a shit, and unlike the Bengals do, Bengals don't. But yeah, Jared Goff looked great, 19 for 23, 3 touchdowns, 258 yards. Montgomery even got a passing touchdown, which was great in that they did the Wildcat, and Montgomery, who did take snaps back in his younger days in college, whatnot, and he got that passing touchdown. Awesome for him.
Well,
Yeah, it
then
was
I'll tell
great.
you what. Well, for the Lions, they just finished the easy part of their schedule because literally the
Yeah.
rest of their schedule, I
Hmm.
think they play the only team they played that was not in the playoffs last year is the Giants and the Bears.
Yeah.
Everybody else they play is either a good team this year or was a playoff team last year.
Oh,
So we're going to really see what this Lions team actually is because they're
yeah.
4-1 right now, but they've
I'm
lost to
ex-
the only
I'm
good team they
excited for
played.
next week where you got the Lions Chiefs, and I want to see which of those two teams. I've been saying this now for 2 weeks. I want to see which one of those two teams is actually legit and which one of those two teams aren't. I'm hoping it's the Lions because can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I want my Chiefs
Well,
pick to
especially
hit.
in a season like this, where obviously we've said the issues we have with the Eagles and the Bills, this seems like a season where any team can kind of win one just like out of the blue. The Lions have been building for a season like this for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
Where it's like it's now or never. Like we're saying that with the Lions and the Bills. Like it's now or never. Like this is the season of all seasons where anybody could win it.
Yeah.
Like
And speaking of any team that could win it, let's get to the other two. The last game on the docket, which you had the Tampa Bay Bucks going into Seattle and getting a last second field goal win. This was one of the best games I have seen in the last 5-10 years. This I'm not even like the quarterbacks were absolutely just insane. they both had so look, Sam Darnold had 135 and Baker Mayfield 134. Like that is just insane. Baker went 29 for 33 with three touchdowns, with 2 touchdowns, 379
A-
yards, and then
And
Sam.
well, again, for with Sam Darnold, that one interception, that was not on him
No,
at all. It
no.
like ricocheted off a defender's helmet to go into the Bucks' hands when he was driving them down to win the game. I sent you a message right after that happened. The Bucks have been the luckiest team in the
Oh,
league all season.
I know, but you know what? You say that, and I agree. But they also capitalize on it, though. That's the difference. Is good teams make teams pay when they screw up, and the Bucks are doing that. The Bucks are
Yeah,
100% doing that, and they almost did it to the Eagles, and they could almost been 5-1 or 5-0 by doing that,
and
by
been the
taking
last
advantage.
undefeated team.
Yeah,
Yep.
by being that team that can just duke it out all the way to the end. But yeah, Sam Darnold, 28 for 34, 4 touchdowns. He did have that one interception you're talking about, which isn't great. But Smith and Najigba, he did 132 yards, outstanding. And then
Dude, most
um,
every catch he made was like 4 of them were like the best catches you've ever seen.
yeah, and then
Like in that
Ibuka,
game.
Ibuka is what killed me because I did have Baker, and I was like, yeah, Baker's gonna have a strong game. This is gonna be a good game. Why did every single play have to go to him? Because I could have possibly won, but every single play went to him, and I was just like, God damn it! So yeah, 163 yards, 7 receptions, and a touchdown for a big Ibuka. Just amazing, amazing game. This seriously one of the best games I've seen in the last 5 years, if not longer. Both
That
quarterbacks were absolutely phenomenal, and the defenses weren't playing horrible. It's just these offenses are good.
yeah.
These offenses are
S
real good. So
that honestly,
Seattle
that might have
Seattle
been
losing and going 3-2, you gotta hang your head up high and be like, "We
yeah.
are a legit team," and I still think Seattle's gonna win that division.
Well, honestly, that might be the best game we've ever seen Sam Darnold play.
Oh, by
'Cause,
far.
yeah, I mean, also Sam Darnold, maybe dark horse pick for, what is it, MVP this season.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
if
get
you're gonna put
which is
Baker in there.
so here's your MVP candidates right now, in my opinion. You have Baker, you have Dak, so Baker, then Dak, and then oh man, definitely you gotta throw Darnold in there.
And then Daniel Jones.
Daniel
I
Jones,
feel like
yeah.
those are the top 4.
Yeah.
Like
Like, I mean, obviously, I honestly think I know his touchdown interception ratio isn't great, but Mac Jones, God darn, I did it
Drake
again.
May. I
Drake
know.
May.
I was gonna say
Oh,
you
so
could
here's
make a
here's something
case for
funny.
him
My
5th.
my coworker last night, he made a really good joke about how when Drake May came back and won that game and he looked like Baker, he goes, uh, oh my gosh. Uh Draker Mayfield. That's what he was. Yeah.
Draker Mayfield. That's good.
Draker Mayfield. That was it really made it really or no, Drake yeah, something like that. I don't know, but whatever he said, it was funny and it worked and yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy for Baker and he's doing well down there. No nonsense. He looks good at the podium now. He's not like a little dweeb and picking fights with people. So,
Well,
good on him.
he's still an asshole when
Yeah.
you root for Baker Mayfield until your team's playing against him, and then
Yeah.
you're like, "Damn, Baker Mayfield is annoying."
So
Like,
we
he's
went
annoying.
long again, but that's because we talked about our two teams. I'm for it if you are. Let's get together tomorrow. Let's talk college. We have to talk college, and let's hit that or the NHL season before we go. Maybe we could even do like a top 10 on what we've been trying to do for the NHL.
Yeah,
Um, and
tomorrow,
just
you're
do like
saying.
a quick like 30, 40-minute episode tomorrow. You cool with that?
Yes.
All right.
But honestly, I think we can just do tomorrow. I think we can only do NHL because college football, I really think the only things we're talking about are actually no. There's
I
enough.
could talk a
Yeah,
lot about college football.
yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. Good call, Casino. We will be back here tomorrow to talk NHL, college football, also Mark Sanchez, because that Mark Sanchez situation is insane. We can talk about that tomorrow too.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is
literally insane.
yeah.
Uh
It's worse than the butt fumble by far.
I would still say butt fumble one. This
I
one
don't know.
close
He's
second.
looking to 1 to 6 years in prison. Ah,
Yeah, but he made a play famous called the butt fumble. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
But
really
it's
1A,
time
1B.
it's time to go. My son is just now waking up, and I hear him going, "Daddy." It's time to go wake him up.
All right. We will be back tomorrow to talk about all the things we just said. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. Only Sports Podcast. Adios.